We're live.
We are live. Aloha. Let's say it together.
Aloha.
And
Yay.
welcome. And if you're online, you wonder what you just tuned into. You are at the Institute of Magnificence, the home of this beautiful Center for Spiritual Living, Kauai. And right over here, this beautiful lady, this powerful lady, if you don't know her, I'd get to know her if I were you. This is Rita Andriello Feren. I am Patrick Feren. Yes. Well, we'll take some of that. And there is a wonderful thing happening here, and that we are the co-spiritual directors of this wonderful place, are we not?
Yes,
and
we are.
Founders going into our 10th year. 10th year. The perfect 10. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. And what is our theme this year?
Our theme this year is Free to Be Me in 2023. Let's say it together. I am free to be me in 2023.
And notice me is in caps. That's your real me. Your
And
God
before-
self, your beautiful, wonderful, amazing
sorry.
God self. Yes.
Before we go any further, I don't want to forget this. Some angels came in on Friday. They came in, they just appeared, and it was just wonderful. They did something that all of you probably forget does happen in this beautiful space. It's called cleaning. So these angels, Yana Shane, where is she? Oh, right there, back there. They came in, did the baseboards, did the it was crazy. And Reverend Suzanne Stover came in and cleaned our wonderful, wonderful Ron Stover's kitchen for him.
Yeah.
So let's give it up for these two. Yes. Woo!
Okay. So as Patrick lights the peace candle,
Yes.
we are going to go into our meditative time.
Today's a very important day of lighting this particular candle for our wonderful Martin Luther King Jr., his birthday, 93 years old.
94.
He told me 93.
That's right, he doesn't care. So let's take that beautiful energy called Martin Luther King Jr. and the love and the peace that he stood for and died for, and the amazing, amazing creative force that worked through him, that works through each and every one of us. And take a deep breath into that right now as we get ready to spend this time together in celebration of that creative force, of that life force, of that love, of that peace. So close your eyes if you feel comfortable, and we will go within for a few moments.
There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. Simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Maula, angels' wings on heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all in power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power. We speak so many languages, have different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. We'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all in power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon. It's the love that's most deep. It's one power, one power, one power. We are one power, one power, one power.
In this moment and in this place, yes, indeed, there is only one power, one mind, and it lives in me, and it lives in each person gathered in this space. That power is peace and love and joy and fulfillment. And so as we gather together, we open our hearts, our minds, our lives to this power and allow it to live in, through, and as us. And as we do, we rejoice and give thanks as we say together, and so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Walt. That was Reverend Dr. Walt Weiss, opened us up. Thank you, Kyle and Luis, for the beautiful song by Daniel Nahmad.
Isn't that the perfect song?
Yeah,
I love
what a
that.
perfect song for today, right?
It is.
So we're going to actually invite Dr. Walt back
You
up.
could have stayed right up where you were, man.
And he's going to tell us what he thinks the science of mind and spirit is, which is why you're all here today, to be part of that.
Got an hour?
No, you don't get an hour.
Let us say, no.
Okay. You know, last week when Reverend Diane was asked to come up and share what her thoughts were on the science of mind, she referenced the science of mind textbook. But because her mind is much younger and whatever than mine, she was able to quote it. I have to like bring it up with me. And but what I thought also was interesting, because she talked about how the readings that week had helped her to see what she should say. And so this was the reading for yesterday. It says, from Ernest Holmes, our founder, the science of mind, then, is the study of life and the nature of the laws of thought, the conception that we live in a spiritual universe, that God is in, through, around, and for us. And so I don't think I need to add much more other than what's also in front here, because here at the Center of Spiritual Living, we use spiritual mind treatment, not to convince this power, but to bring our own thoughts into alignment with that one power. And in doing so, we can be free in 2023.
Perfect.
Hey.
I
That was
love it.
beautiful.
So we all should have our own elevator speech of how to explain the science of mind to somebody when they ask us what it is that we believe. I think that would be good, right?
Exactly. So I see some new faces, but it could be well, actually I had cataract surgery, so my eyes are perfect. So I actually see that you are very clear. Who is here for the very first time? I know Karen, welcome. Welcome from Texas. Welcome. So here's the deal. When you woke up this morning, and I know this is, you don't mind, Karen, if I mean, we've known each other for what, 20 minutes now? But Karen was wonderful. She drove by and she saw the sign. And she's been to them before, and she said, so that means that signs work. Wow. And so that's what she pulled in and did. So welcome, welcome. Everybody made a choice. This month is all about choices. And if you know anything about this philosophy, that's what it is. You always have the freedom to choose what it is you want for and about your life. So we are thanking you for choosing to come here today and share your consciousness with us and in this incredible love space. So just a little bit about what we do. We celebrate every week our what? Magnificence. But since it's 2023, we've decided to go all out. Go out on the edge, like Indiana Jones. And what we're going to do is what are we going to do? We're going to magnify our magnificence this year. We're not going to just say, oh, we're magnificent, I'm magnificent. No, we're going to magnify it and let it come all the way out off this island and in this world and in the cosmos and with our alien brothers and sisters out there. Oh, did I say that? Oh,
Yeah, you did.
It's okay. It's not a part of the text, but hey. You know, so what we're going to say together, if you choose, once again, choice that, how about that I am magnificent? I am magnificent. Now let's join us all together. We are magnificent. Now just take a moment, wherever your frequency, your vibration leads you, and let somebody know who they are. You are magnificent.
You are magnificent.
You are magnificent.
You are magnificent.
Magnificent.
Yay. You. Oh, definitely. Most definitely. Most definitely.
There's a kind of hush in the room. There's a rumble in the room. All right.
All right.
You got something for us,
You
Kyle
got
and
something
Louise?
for us, Kyle?
Gonna wash dust off my soul. Gonna listen to some rock and roll. No cares come what may. I'm making a beautiful day. Gonna drive my car into the sea. Swim out far 'cause I believe that the waves will wash wash the gray away. I'm making a beautiful day. Let me hear you say, ooh, my mind, I'm learning to fly. Hey, hey, what's that you say? Let's not forget that we're alive. Gonna climb my hill behind my house, see what this place is all about. From above it all, you can't help but say it's gonna be a beautiful day. Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful day. So let me hear you say, ooh, my mind, I'm learning to fly. Hey, hey, what's that you say? Let's not forget that we're alive. Gonna turn my enemies into friends. Was broken yet stronger when it mends. When we all come together, this song will play. We'll say it's a beautiful day. It's gonna be a beautiful day. Well, ooh, my mind, I'm learning to fly. Hey, hey, what's that you're saying? Let's not forget that we're alive. Ooh, my mind, I'm learning to fly. Hey, hey, what's that you're saying? Let's not forget that we're alive.
Yeah. Yeehaw. Kind of goes with the feeling of the title of our message today. Fill her up. Now, it's not fill it up. It's fill her up. Who remembers full-service gas stations? If you're all too young for that, that's when you go in, you pull in, you roll down your windows because we didn't have the zzzz. And we rolled it down and said, "Can I help you, sir?" Wow. Fill her up. Now, not only did they fill it up, but they cleaned the windshield. Oh, opened the hood. Took out that thing called a dipstick. And then they'd come up and they'd go, "Excuse me, you must have just got your license, young man. You're down to court. Will you put it in?" "Yes, we will. We will put it in." Oh, those were the days, my friends. We thought they ended. They ended. Oh my gosh. I don't know what made me, but I took this whole trip back. Did you guys go back for a moment? And I thought it kind of like brought some emotions. Who would ever think fill her up would bring some emotions? It's because that was when people took care of you. When we could drive up and I still don't know anything about cars, but that feeling that I didn't, but they did. And that they took some time to wash the windows for me. Yes. Oh, air in the tires. Your tires are a little low, sir. You know what? I didn't get insulted at all, that man thing, like, "Oh, I check my own tires." You know, no, I was like, check them, I'll do it, and I don't know, wash the car too if you want to. Because, you know, I don't have that kind of thing, but if you've been around me long enough, you know that that's not one of my issues, is trying to fight for my masculinity. But here's the deal. It also made me think about how some of us, not anybody, that we've lost a little touch for our own full service in our life. And how much time are we taking to full service ourselves? Taking that time to wash the windows, get clear with ourselves before we rush off and drive, right? You know, this just lives in me. This brilliance is coming up right now. It just, I don't know, it's just like channeling. I'm telling you. I have to ask a few questions, though, that came up. And I was thinking about the gas tank. And if you're all like offended about the gas metaphor, it's okay. We got electric cars. And that means what do? We charge up. We charge up. So the question to you today, because I remember in high school, there was nothing worse, man, than my buddies riding on empty. They were riding on empty, just the fumes. I was like, come on, man, can we get some gas? No, I'm running a little late. We're going to be so much later if we don't get some gas in the car. So my question to you, and I don't know why I developed an accent, but hey. But here's the deal. I want to ask you, to yourself, no shouting out, anybody, no. Do you wait for your tank to be half full, almost empty, or when do we fill it up? Just think of that for a moment. For me, I like it. I like it at least half a tank. I start becoming aware, and I go, you know what? Things might get a little low if I don't. And there's a really wonderful metaphor for me in this. It's when do I take the time to say to myself, I'm getting a little empty here. I'm getting a little low in my frequency. I'm getting a little low in my energy. And when do I need to fill up? You ever been there? We call it self-care now, right? But I think it's important. It's important. And I've been this whole week reading about this incredible man, Martin Luther King Jr., and I took a different approach this week with this incredible human being. Because I thought the approach I want to look at today can help us all. I want to talk about the man behind the mission. And there's already emotions, I can feel that, because we get caught up a lot, and it's not that we do a disservice, but we get people so high up there sometimes that we almost don't feel like we can be a part of that because that's what they did. That's what Desmond Tutu did. That's what the Dalai Lama's doing. That's what Gandhi, everybody. But that was them but they didn't pop here and just land here and go, I have a mission. No. The mission called them. And so this week I was looking behind all of that information about how he dealt with this mission. What did he do? How did he fill up when he was empty? And there were so many times that Martin Luther King was empty. They were talking about, they said, well, it was all about what? Love, unconditional love, nonviolence. Nonviolence. If you think that was an easy thing to wake up to on a daily basis, it made my life, when I was reading, look like a wonderful fairgrounds with lots of rides. And so I said, what was he doing? What did he do? And they were talking about one time he got very angry and did something he wasn't supposed to do. He got very angry. And they said, you had no business writing that. And he was like, actually, you do have business writing that because I did it. It wasn't to bring him down or, let's put Martin Luther King down so far. No, it wasn't about that. Maybe people did want to do that on that level, but on my level, I'm looking, what did he do when somebody was threatening his life on a daily basis? Every day a phone call coming in. And we can relate to this because we all feel threatened. We just came out of a 3-year threat. And it was threatening every moment, and in some lives still is. But how did he do it? How did he wake up and talk to his wife and say, I'm scared. They're going to kill me because of what I believe. So what helped him? Helped him because he said, oh yeah, here we go. If I fight you with hate, I'm no better than you, and we are going nowhere. I got to go back to love. I got to go back to love. And what is this teaching? It's so wonderful. What do we say? We say we turn from the condition. We don't ignore the condition. We turn from it long enough to remember who we are, to remember your mission, for him to say, I just wanted to weep with this incredible man, because I want us not to look at man as imperfect. This isn't about looking at imperfection. This is looking about how perfect he was and that we are when we get scared and when we wake up and we say, no, I'm going to make another choice. This isn't working, man. This isn't working. And they were talking about it, one of his last speeches, it was that he just wouldn't be quiet. He just kept doing it. It reminded me of someone I know. He just kept talking and talking and talking. And that's because, have you ever had that when you were a little kid, when something bad's kind of happened, you just kind of want to stay there, or a better metaphor is when it's getting dark and you know you're going to hear your parents calling your name to come back in, and you want to continue to be there to play and do it. He wanted to continue to do that because he wanted to be with the people. And it was very interesting because he actually went out into the audience and actually shook hands and was doing, because I think we all know that if somebody's wishing you dead every day, that eventually it was going to happen, and it did happen. But I'm not here today to mourn. We're here to celebrate a birth of someone who came here and said, I could choose to get out. I mean, how many times I'm sure that Martin woke up and said, that door looks so good right now, and a trip on a plane out of here might be okay, but he couldn't do that. Why? Because he had a mission. He went deep down inside of who he was and said, oh, love. Because we know him, I know him as unconditional love, and I know that that's what, and nonviolence. But when I really took the time to understand how much courage nonviolence takes, how much courage love takes, love had to be fierce, not just, and he says, is it one of those moments where I finally go to my thing and it's not here? No. We all did that. Yeah. This is what somebody before I read the other, what they said about him. They said, he saw that change would only come when we accept that we are all connected and realize that we need each other. One could easily argue that this is the real reason why we were all put together in this mystery of life to begin with. To make a better life for all with the strength of our combined differences. Can you imagine that? With our combined differences. Oh, talk about evolution. That I can look at you and say, oh my God, you're different from me. And I'm different from you. What are we going to do with all that? Oh, not, you're different than me. I'm scared, so I'm going to go over with the people that are like me, so I don't have to be scared anymore. It's all about fear, and he knew that. Someone said to him, I used to love black people a lot more before you all started getting all with the civil rights thing. He said, man, I was with you all the way. And then Martin Luther King Jr. said, well, I'm going to give him some paraphrase. Newsflash, you never loved black people. You didn't love black people. You love somebody, and just take away even the color, you love anybody who's not going to go up against you. You're going to go up to anybody that speaks something different than you. I have done it a lot. Science of mind and spirit speaks differently than a lot of places. Speaks differently, doesn't it? one of my most treasured moments, and I know that I'm not bringing up Miss Cheryl again, but if you were here at that, there was this Miss Cheryl who was one of our celebrity guests at the telethon. Boy, she rocked the house. And a beautiful person that's here in this room today, but I won't even look at him. I mean, they said, they were going to get a poster, and they were going to say, "Who's your minister?" And I thought, because, for you that ever knew, I knew here, I dressed up as Miss Cheryl and did a damn good job of it, actually. And so what I'm saying is, who says, wow, that was different. Let's make a poster of it. Because we are something different. This is what they were trying to say. Can you imagine if the real reason we were put together is not to suffer, but to figure out, wow, we're the same people. We're the same energy. We're all the same love. Oh my God. You wouldn't even be able to see anything but just pure love. Oh, he's got a long one coming up, so I got to just take a little drink of water here. Does this make clear about filling up, though? I mean, when we're filling up, the other day I was filling up, and there's nothing worse than being married to a minister. Just so, just so I'm just going to go out the gate and be there. So I was giving information about a news item that I had found, and I was all like, I wasn't emotionally connected, but I was like, "Did you know, ba ba da ba ba da ba ba da ba?" And she said, "And how was that? What was your question to me?" Yep. How did that fill you up? I was like, "Oh my God," because I could feel my frequency going down and thinking. But I said, but I was just informed, and then I tried to make it up. You know how you go around. I go, actually, it made me feel good. Because I was able to have compassion. I'm thinking, you are so lying right now, Patrick. If you were Catholic, you'd be in that little room. "Father, I have sinned. I lied to my wife." So this is what I believe really it's so true though, right? What are we filling up with? And the other day I actually did hear and feel some frequency, and I didn't go, "What are you talking about?" I didn't get in that. That's just exactly what Martin Luther King Jr. is talking about. Stop jumping in there and telling people how they're supposed to talk to you. "Oh, no, that's not good. If you talk like that, then my frequency goes down." Well, that's nice, but but you're not a real party favor. Just so you'll know. And I'm not trying to please people, but if your frequency is kind of bringing me down, then I just leave. Excuse me, I have to get going. I don't have to go, "Are you aware of the frequency?" The only time people can do that is if you're married to them. This is what, I go first, and this is what happens, I'm going to tell you. So this is what our brother, and I do, when I say brother, I mean it in a way that I have never meant it before in my life, because what I have seen and felt this week when I got to know the man that said, "I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway." The man that said, "I'm not going to ask you," and this is what leadership, by the way, is. If anybody says they're leaders, I'm a spiritual leader, Rita's a spiritual leader, we're spiritual leaders all in this. If somebody ever asks you to do something and they're not willing to do it at the same time, he was up front. He said, "Listen, I got something, we got to do this. We got to do this." He didn't say, "We got to do this." Go to get up there. He said, "We got to do this. Follow me. We're going." And that's what I admire. He's not going to ask you to do anything that he wouldn't do himself. That's a leader. So he says, "And I say to you, I have also decided to stick with love." This is turning the condition, my friends. "For I know that love is ultimately the only answer to humankind's problems. And I'm going to talk about it everywhere I go." That's the courage, right? I know it isn't popular to talk about it in some circles today. And I'm not talking about emotional bosh when I talk about love. I'm talking about a strong, demanding love. Demanding love. For I have seen too much hate, and I say to myself that hate is too great a burden to carry. It's heavy, my friends. Hate is so heavy, I don't even know how we can get out of bed if we have that. And I say to myself that hate is too great a burden to bear. I have decided to love. Excuse me. Operative word is what? Decided. I just didn't, love didn't just surge through me and I said, hey, let's go. Woo, there's love, let's go. I had to decide, he had to decide that love was more important than even dying. If you are seeking the highest good, I think you can find it through love. And the beautiful thing is that we aren't moving wrong when we do it, because John was right. God is love. He who hates does not know God. He who hates does not know God. But he who loves has the key that unlocks the door to the meaning of ultimate reality. So I think we can go now, in closing, we can go now beyond. As we know, I got a little love yourself that's over my desk at the home office, we call it now, the home office. And it says, love yourself. And I know that's sometimes is something that's said a lot, so when it's said a lot, some people don't take it seriously as much or just take it in. I understand it. And they say, how do you love yourself? Martin Luther King Jr., how do you love yourself? It's you choose to. You choose to know that the heavy burden it takes that we put on ourselves, forget the world right now for a minute, the things that we say to ourselves, people would be arrested for. The things we have said to ourselves, or I shouldn't say we. Everybody always calls me on that afterwards, and I have to email them back. And but what happens is, I mean, I'm always laughing at that. Can you imagine that you say we, and it's not we. You're speaking for all of us. I'm thinking to myself, do you know what this man did? I mean, compared to that, email me. It's okay. But I just know that this whole idea of daring enough to treat ourselves with such incredible respect and integrity and love, when we can go there, when we can stop disliking or in some cases hating ourselves, then we'll be able to walk in love like we have never ever been. We have so much more time to get active when we love ourselves. So if we don't love ourselves fully today, that's okay. That's why we have the next minute to choose. But anybody who would tell me that loving yourself is egotistical or what is thinking of only yourself, you're right. Because if I can think of myself with love, then I won't spend all that wasted time on the other stuff. And then I have more time as a spiritual leader to be with you and to move us as a ohana, as a family, call it whatever you want. Then we have time. We have time because we say, I love myself. Let's go. Now, does that mean that we don't have problems and not go in that route? We all know that that's an old arguing for our limitations. Of course, we're going to have stuff. But what this has taught me today, and taught me in a way that's so beautiful, what it's taught me is it's not so important about the great things that we do, that we marched and we did all that. What is great about it is when you didn't want to do it and you did it anyway. When you couldn't find love for yourself and you loved yourself anyway. You couldn't find love for those people. And you did it anyway. You said, you know what? I'm not even into whatever you're doing, but the one thing I do is I love you. And behind it all, we're going to all find out when we drop these costumes that we were always one. But in the meantime, Let's enjoy our costumes, shall we? Namaste.
Every morning, the light keeps getting brighter as I wake up to the truth. Every day, feeling so much lighter, and the world seems fresh and new. What I was taught, the way that I thought, stopped serving me long ago. Now I'm learning to trust in the God of all of us. Each day I start anew, and so I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led to such confusion. Today is the day I walk away. Every day I walk away. Every morning brings a new beginning. By grace, another day to be. I awaken to the sun upon me shining, lighting the way for me to see things that I saw in the way that I thought stopped serving me long ago. And I'm learning to trust in the God of all of us. Of yesterday I'm letting go, and I'm walking away from thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led to such confusion. Today is the day I walk away. Every day I walk away. Well, I'm walking away from the less than that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led to such sadness. Today is the day I walk away. Every day I walk away. Today is the day I walk away.
I love that song. It's written by Michael Gott, I believe. And how many times I've had to walk away from negative thinking, putting myself down, being just not in the right frame of mind. And I think it's a continuous journey, walking away, and something that we just have to consciously do. And I think it's part of our evolution as a species, that when those things come up, we just recognize them for what they are and know that that power and presence has not left us because we are having that moment, but that we just get to walk away from it. Like Patrick was saying, we are at choice in every single solitary moment. This has been like a week of filling up for me, so this is a really good topic. a couple of, I don't know when it was, but I was just like realizing that I was eating to fill up. Like I was wanting things like, and I mean, I know this from, because I used to have a diet program, you know, where, you know, you tune into your emotions. And I was like, oh, you're trying to fill up on this because you don't want to look at that. So why don't you look at that and then find a way to fill up in a good way? And so I've been consciously all week long filling up on the good stuff. I've been listening to this thing, and I sent it to a couple of people. It's called The Rampage by Abraham Asterix. I listen to it every single solitary morning, and everything she says in that is truth. Everything she says in that about that, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have contrast when you walk into your day. Like I was just saying, things happen, right? But that you can turn to that contrast and you can say, oh, where am I in this? What do I believe about this? Where is my truth in this moment of contrast? In this moment when somebody's saying something to me that, you know, might not be the highest vibration. Like, I love what you said. Because what right do you have to tell somebody you're not in my vibrational rate? So I am going to walk over here now. Oh my God. Can you imagine how loving that would be? So, no, I mean, I felt it at times, right? So, but if you understood that the contrasts that are coming there are just reflections of yourself coming back at you, and all you have to do is just shift yourself, then it will all shift. It will all change. So, what a week. Okay, so what are you filling up on? You know, it's the question I'm going to ask myself all week long. I'm going to continue to ask it, and I encourage you, invite you to ask yourself what you're filling up on, because there's a lot of stuff at the table that we can fill up on. But if we really want to get where we want to be and be in an inspirational and vibrational field that promotes health, that promotes abundance, that promotes all the things that we say we want in our life, then we have to keep ourselves in that energy. And it's there for us. Like, there is nothing that's being kept away from us besides what we're keeping away from ourselves. And that is really the truth. That is the whole truth of this teaching, is that everything is there for us. There's this like field of energy that will just take anything that we want to manifest and present it to us if we can accept it. We don't have to like even create it. We just have to accept it. So, I mean, I'm filling up on that. I'm filling up on that idea now that Patrick had this thing that he said, not in his talk, but if you want to think big, if you think you're thinking big, just think bigger. And we're about to like make a move in the center by next October. And we have to think really big to be able to make that move. When we moved into this building, we didn't like have, you know, in the world of form what we thought we should have to move, but we moved anyway, because we knew that the universe would meet us where we were, and we were sure. You have to be sure. You can't like throw your beliefs around and say you believe something when you don't believe it. You got to really be sure. And so now we're getting ready to make this move again, and it's like we got to just keep thinking bigger. We got to think bigger. Do we believe in this teaching enough? Do we believe what we stand up here and say every Sunday? You know, do we believe in it enough to move to our next thing? And I just want to tell you this little story because it came to me this morning. A long time ago, it seems like a long time ago, I think it was a long time ago, probably 15 years, I used to go running in this neighborhood, and there was this orange tree that I used to pass, okay? And I always wanted to go and pick an orange, but I knew that it wasn't really polite to walk on somebody's lawn and go get their oranges, right? So I would just sit there and I would run, and I was running on a path that brought me back to that same tree several times, right? And suddenly I saw this guy. He was walking down the street with like 2 big bags of oranges. Like, I don't know if I can't remember if he got it from the tree, but he was walking down the street and he could hardly walk because he was carrying these 2 big bags. And I was like, oh, and then he looked at me and he went, like, do you want one? He didn't say anything. He just grunted. Do you want one? Do you want some? He's saying, come on, help me here. This is really heavy. So I went and I took one. And I was like, okay, I kept walking. Then I went around again and he was still there and he goes, And so I took another. But I went home with 2 oranges, and I realized that that was my consciousness. Like, he would have liked to probably have had me take the whole bag, or at least a few, and I could use the excuse that I was running and I couldn't carry them, but that was not the excuse. The thing was, I felt like I could only take 2. And I was like, okay, that really made me examine my consciousness about how I was able to accept my good, how I was able to fill up, how I was able to allow it. And so I contemplated that. I think I even wrote a whole blog about it. I don't think it's in my book, but, and I heard a voice, and it said, and it was clear. You know when you get that voice, and it's your own voice, but it's so soft, and it's so truthful, and it's just exact. It's probably coming from our heart, and it just said, why are you asking me for an orange when I want to give you a whole grove? And I was like, oh, wow. And at that time in my life, I didn't feel like I could have a whole grove, right? But now I live on the island of Kauai, and I live in a grove. And I even live in a home that has like 1 million orange trees. So what I'm saying is, this is a process. It's a process. Like, for some of us, it could happen instantaneously, but there's a process if we're willing to work on it, if we're willing to open up to it, if we're willing to give ourselves to it, if we're willing to practice, that little by little will increase our capacity to receive. So, and it's exact. Like, this law of our being, this vibration that we live in, that moves us, that you want to call it God. I love that song, call it God, call it Buddha, call it Lord, call it Jesus, call it whatever you want. It's just one thing. It's this power that moves us, and it wants to express itself, and it wants to live in, grandly. It really does. But even when we're not living grandly, it's still expressing itself. It's still living with whatever that is. It's living through us. It's experiencing that, because we can't get away from being God. We cannot get away. God is everywhere. God is in everything. God is in us. And even when we're sick or we're broke or whatever it is, God has experienced brokenness. God is experiencing sickness. God is experiencing. God is experiencing. God is experiencing. God doesn't go, oh, this is bad and this is good. And that. No, but it wants to express itself in the most highest and best way in us. And the only way we can express it in the way that is the greatest for us is if we allow it to express through us. And if we allow it, if we really actually recognize it and fill up with it and allow it. So Dr. King, wow, he really got it. And he wasn't afraid to die. I mean, sure, he was at a moment in his life, but because he knew the truth, and he was willing to stand up for that truth, and he was willing to live it, to live life, he said, hey, whatever they're going to do with me, I'm going to have to, because I can't give it up. I'm filled up with it, and it's who I am, and I'm going to express it, and I'm going to do it. And other people have done that too, Jesus, Gandhi, all these people, and now we can do it. But I don't believe we have to die to do it. I believe that we have to die to our old beliefs. That's what we have to be martyrs to, is these things that screw with our mind and hold us back and all of that. And to know that we're always taken care of no matter what, no matter what's happening, we don't, like, if you worry about the future, you're worrying it into being. I can worry about the future a lot sometimes. And I just pull myself back and I go, well, how are things now, Rita? How's it going? How do you believe that you're always going to be safe, that you're always going to be taken care of no matter what? And when I get into that space in the present moment, then I know that no matter what, no matter, like the Esther said, the contrasts that come or what comes, I'm going to be all right. I'm an eternal being. I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right no matter what. And I don't know about you, but I want to live my life to the fullest. I was looking back at pictures of this center at the very beginning, little moments that Patrick and I were having, and when we lived up in Princeville, and when we were in the hotel, and I go, wow, did I really appreciate that when it was happening? Because when I looked back at it and I was filling up on all those memories, I was like, oh my God, I even saw Rhea in the front row in the hotel, and all these people, and then some of the people were gone. There were a lot of people that were gone that had passed away, and some that just had moved away. But I thought, oh, did I really appreciate each one of those moments, sitting there, and just, wondering how we were going to make it or whatever, and still like, oh my God, it was so special. So there's so many special moments in our life that if we can just bring ourselves to the present moment and, oh my God, just really live them, and just really, even when they're hard, just really live the moments. We'll look back someday and we'll go, wow, we really lived our life. We really lived it fully. And I think that's what the message of Dr. King is, of all these great people. And we're those great people too. So let's be great people in the world. I know we are, right? And let go of the little small stuff and just say, wow, life is amazing. Look where we live. We've all manifested living here. I mean, we've all manifested living in this most beautiful, amazing place. No matter what we're experiencing, we live in heaven. We live in heaven. And there's so many people that just dream of coming here once in their lifetime, and we live here. That's just a start right there. If you could just work with that, right? So, right? So I bless Dr. King. I bless all of us. I know that we're just doing it the best way that we can. He did it the best way he could. It seemed large to some of us, but we're just as large. We're just as powerful. We're just as amazing. So let's be amazing. Let's let what he did, what all these great people did, be remembered, because we're living it, and we're living our lives to the fullest. So that's what I want to know. I want to say. So, namaste. And walk away from everything else.
Walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led to such confusion. Today is the day I walk away. Every day I walk away. I'm walking away from the last thing that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led to such sadness. Today is the day I walk away. Every day I walk away. Today is the day I walk away.
That's so funny. I was like singing with you, and I was all ahead of myself.
I know. Patrick goes, what's next? I go.
I was just about to say walk, and all of a sudden I go, oh, I'm ahead of that game.
So
And my mic's on.
What's next is our collection. Yes, our beautiful, amazing giving time. And we have an affirmation, and it's this: I choose to freely give, and I graciously receive. I choose to freely give, and I graciously receive. Because giving and receiving are one thing. As we give, we receive. It's law. It's law. So thank you for all the amazing donations that come in today. Thank you for the ones online.
Yes.
Thank you for, moving this community forward so that we can just spread the light and spread the love.
And speaking of online, I don't say it very much, but if you've enjoyed what you've been watching, and push that share. What's the one? Share, donate, like, or you
Subscribe.
can. Or I always push love, but yeah,
Right.
that's it.
Thank you,
So enjoy.
everyone. We have a song too, right?
All that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be. It's a blessing, it's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. And all that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be. It's a blessing, it's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all. So I lift up my hands now, I open my heart, Gratitude goes out to everything near and far, and all that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be. It's a blessing, it's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all.
Yes, so grateful. With hearts filled with that gratefulness, we choose to give, and we also choose to receive. So these gifts that have been given, those given online, we affirm blessings on all of this, knowing that these gifts are used for good in this world. And for this, we give thanks as we say together, and so it is.
It's all that I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be. It's a blessing, it's so amazing. Oh, and I'm grateful for it all.
So that was wonderful.
children
Thank
here?
you, thank you. I don't know if the kids are here. Are they here? Yes, no? No?
No?
Okay,
Okay.
well, we'll go
That-
on with the announcements then, I guess.
Our captain's ready to do it again. Captain Jonathan, if you're here for the first time, he's flying this plane. What's up, Cap?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your kind attention. Please give a round of applause for the Reverends Rita and Patrick. Thank you so much for your presentation. That's improv by the captain there. Join us today right after the Journey celebration for our Martin Luther King Jr. Circle Meetup discussion, honoring the great leader and world transformer. We will share our memories of this great influencer and what we can take into our lives today as we go forward. There are many events going on in his honor around our island. Check out the information table in the lobby. Join us this Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. for this fun and inspiring weekly meetup, where not only is there wisdom and powerful conversations, but chocolate. It's gaining a momentum and becoming a Wednesday night must. Every Wednesday, wisdom and chocolate. I have a little something happening over here. Yeah. Our Labyrinth Walk, getting clear in the new year. Join us Tuesday, January 17th at 6:30 p.m. The walk is facilitated by the mistress of labyrinths herself, Rita Andriello Feren. There is a limit of 15 participants. Sign up in the lobby. Love donations are greatly received in the night of the Labyrinth Walk. Spiritual cinema. This documentary is a winner. Mission Joy. Find happiness in troubled times. A deeply moving and laugh-out-loud funny movie experience. His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, and Archbishop Desmond Tutu share science-backed wisdom of how to live with joy in troubled times. Friday, January 27th at 6 p.m. Join CSL Kauai Ohana for this beautiful film, popcorn, and optional discussion after the film. Whether you've come to all the annual meetings or have never been to one, this annual meeting is a must attend. Join the leadership of CSL Kauai on Sunday, January 29th, directly after our Journey celebration. If you are interested in CSL Kauai and its future, please mark your calendars. Show your support for your Ohana. No need to be a member to attend. There will be snacks. If you know Patrick, then you know that he is the master promoter of self-love and the inner child exploration. The inner child is back, and to tell us all about it is master of self-love himself, CSL Kauai's spiritual director, Patrick Feren.
I had the Meryl Streep moment. What, me? Me? Okay, so here it is. It's back. As a matter of fact, I just looked at the date that we have at the 24th, and the last time I did anything with the inner child was actually 1 year ago on the 25th.
Oh, wow.
So it has been a long time, but I've been watching your little inner child, so all this year, and I can see him. So anyway, come on out. It's just it's an informative class. One time, no charge. I just want people online and people here to get to know. We're starting in the new year the Inner Child Academy, and if anyone knows me, they know that I believe that that inner child is that part of us that has never been touched by anything, and it's the thing that guides us. So it's a little different than the 80s inner child, that but we still do a lot of that. So please come on out, tell your friends to tune in. You must, though, reserve, meaning that if you want a link to it, you have to let us know, and we will be sending you a link. If not, we will all be here at 6 o'clock.
No, 6:30.
When will you be here? I'll be here at 6:30. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to make things at 6:30 because it's easier for people that are working to get there. Yeah. Okay.
Captain?
Okay.
I think we
He
have
has
some
one
children.
last-
Thank
one
you.
last
Seriously, though, to know more about these events and upcoming workshops, please visit the information and sign-up table or talk to Angela. She has everything.
Angela.
so much.
Thank you, Captain.
One. All right. I think our children are here.
We're going to be landing
Our
right now
youth,
with
our young
youth.
masters are
Our
here.
young masters are here.
Give them a drum roll.
Dun 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 dun.
Yay.
Wow. Oh,
I love it. Okay, they need a microphone.
Oh.
Oops. All right. I think you were their teacher today, right, Miss Loya?
Yes.
Miss
Do you want to say
Loya.
something? Yeah, look what you made. Everybody made something for taking home about Martin Luther King Jr.
Ah.
And a poem. If anybody wants to hear, who wants to read a poem? Yeah. They were wonderful.
Nobody wants to read a poem.
Will you read yours? He wants to read his poem.
Watch the candle, though. Watch you.
Martin Luther King once said, "It doesn't matter if you are black." He had an important dream. Let's be friends. No need to attack. He had a good message and spoke to a large crowd. He wanted equality and peace. We will all be equal, he vowed.
Ah. So true.
Bees are so awesome. They pollinate great many flowers. They keep us alive. They are solemn.
We hug some trees. Especially Beckham.
You want to read yours?
No.
Well, guess what we did? We went out to the ocean so we could send love and peace across the ocean around the whole world.
The whole world.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you, everyone.
So,
Let's give them their blessing. Are you ready, guys? Here it is. You are amazing. You are perfect. You are magnificent. And we love you. Woo! And I think, does Miss Leslie have something to say
What?
about mentors? Thank you. That was wonderful.
Oh, thank you,
Did,
sir.
did you have something to say about mentors? This is Miss Leslie, everyone. She
Just
is-
one more little thing. Being with the kids is absolutely magnificent. And I suggest that it would be wonderful if we had more teachers, because each teacher brings something of love of themselves that they can share. So anybody interested in being a teacher, please go see Angela. Also, we are going to start having 2 people there every week. That way we have the full range, if you will. So we are asking that each parent give a month or a week of the month, and they go over there for that week and spend time. So they would be the last person to go over, like I did today, with the last of the children. That way we can have all the kids going maybe in 2 different groups, one with the teacher and then one with the second person.
Yeah.
And the second person is just kind of, all I did today was I kind of hung out in the background and kept Thea and entertained and read her a book, just little quiet things so that Loya could give her beautiful, beautiful teachings.
That's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was also Karen's birthday, was it not? It is Karen's birthday today.
Well, he
All right.
didn't share that I was aware of.
I know. That's why I did.
So maybe we could all sing.
Yeah.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Karen. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Yay! Thank you.
And your mother has your favorite cake. Anything you want, she's going to give it to you today.
So the other thing about the kids, guys, beautiful people, is that it's a safety issue too, because they have to cross the street, and we just need another person over there. So it's not too much to give 1 week. It'll probably end up being 1 week every 5 weeks or something like that to be able, and the services are recorded. So
There we go.
anyway, help us with that, because we want everybody to be safe.
And as we grow, we got some surprises in our future, then they'll really need some help.
So before we close out, I want to invite any of the practitioners that can come up today and join us. Come on up. Yeah, right now.
Right now.
The practitioners are here, and they'll be here every Sunday. There'll be somebody here. They're not always all here at the same time. And they're willing to do a spiritual mind treatment with you if you have something in your life that you would like to shift. It's not a session. It's merely just coming up and saying, hi, I'm just having trouble with my work right now, and I'd like a treatment to do that, or I'm looking for a home, or whatever it is, and so that they can know the truth for you in whatever challenge that you're in. And so I just wanted to read this, because this is what spiritual mind treatment is. And I picked this card this morning and went, oh my God, I got to read that at service. This is what Dr. Holmes says. When we treat, we do not wish, we know. We do not dream, we state. We do not hope, we accept. We do not pray, we announce. We do not expect something is going to happen. We believe that it has already happened. And that's what these people up here are trained to do, to hold that consciousness for you when you can't hold it for yourself, and to move that energy. So utilize them. All right?
There we go.
They're giving you a gift. And so we'll close out.
And we welcome back our wonderful Melissa Mojo, who's been on there and here, very active, but from afar, but now she's right here. Great to have you.
Thank you.
Let your body
I
move.
want to say thank you.
Uh-oh.
Thank you.
Charles is moving.
Thank you.
No rapping.
Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This healing, this healing, this
healing
day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my blind spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. I want to say thank you. Say thank you. Say thank you. Huh? Say thank you.
Can I hear thank you?
Thank you.
Let's say mahalo. So this is what I know, is that gratitude has an energy all to itself, does it not? It has a vibration, a frequency that just moves that energy from a place of absolute power, a place of love. So I want to thank some powerful, loving people right here and right now. And I'm not going to move away from it because I know you guys never trust. I might end up with a rap, I might end up in a dance, but it's okay. I'm going to allow it to just focus right here with Angela and Yana Shane. Give it up Reverend Dr. Walt Weiss over here. Thank you, Kyle LeBenz and Luis. Jonathan Lee, the captain of sound. And we got Giorgio back there with our wonderful, wonderful king of video, Rob Jones. Roseanne is back there in the bookstore. So is Christina, I see. There she is. She said, come on over. We got books. That's why they call it a bookstore. Nothing gets past me. Loya Whitmer, Miss Loya and Miss Leslie over there with our young masters. And Kiana, double duty today. She brought us the garden right here. And she also was collecting and counting up all that wonderful love with Roseanne Jones as the collection stewards. Angela, what can we say? Let's say it, Angela! So, now I can move away knowing that I am so filled with gratitude for our wonderful practitioners, for this incredible powerhouse that always keeps me in line, Reverend Rita. And then all of a sudden, I'm gonna let, this is not audience participation, this is gratitude. So I also want to thank from the bottom of my heart, Martin Luther King Jr., for giving us such inspiration. And if you want to join us, we will be here in a circle, informal. There's a lot of stuff going on today, but I'm so grateful for everybody who has put out their energy to honor this man around the island. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. Can you say grateful? Can you feel gratitude? So I just let that be, and we just release all that gratitude in the world, and we let it be so, as together we say, and so it is.
Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Well, thank you for my health, Spirit, thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit, thank you for my health. This perfect health. This perfect health. Wanna say thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful. So grateful. I wanna say thank you. Thank you. I wanna say thank you. Oh, I'm grateful.
Yay, Kyle and Luis. Thank you, everyone. Aloha.
Yes.
Nothing.
So in about 10 minutes, we're going to circle up for the Martin Luther King Jr. team, and they're up here, so let them have their space so that we...